Hello there. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today I am doing a deep dive into some photos from when my son was about 5 years old. My husband took him to the driving range and my little guy took it really serious. I mean, he had the glove, which was way oversized. He made sure to clean his ball or his clubs after he finished hitting. He had an amazing swing. I mean, way better than mine. And then he even carried his clubs back to the car when everything was all done. So let me bring in the papers that I want to build this layout on. And these are from the Take to the Sky paper pack. And this is kind of like that topography type of map. So you're kind of looking down. But because my photos have so much blue in them, I thought that that would look really, really good. I already have in my mind what I want to do for this layout, so I've pre-cut a lot of things. So let me bring those in. I want to do my title block down here, and it's going to, the title block itself is 3 by 6, so I'm going to place it between the 3 and 9. So I want to balance that out, and then I'm just going to use some strips from the Country Woods paper pack, and I'm just doing one of each on each side. Those are 1.5 inches wide each. And I'm going to place that one there. And then on this side, I'm going to replicate it, but instead of obviously a title, I'm going to do my journaling. This will become my journaling block there. So this is kind of my idea. I'm going to bring in a thin strip border piece just to kind of clean that up like this. So I got one for each side, and these are, this is out of early Espresso, just the two-tone cardstock. And then I was thinking with my photos, because this is my favorite photo, well, both of the 4 by 6s are my favorite photo. So they each are going to get a prime spot on each page. So we're going to put the 4 by 6s, him doing with his backswing, put that one there. Then I have this little 3 by 4, which I'm going to place right about here. And then I'm going to run a column of 3 by 3s. And I want to do it kind of in progression order. So got him teeing up his ball. We've got the backswing and then his follow through. And then he was doing some putting with my husband, cleaning up his clubs, and then heading back to the car. So that is my idea. I'm going to build this all on a base of white cardstock. So I'm going to be cutting down this blue map paper and then inking everything up, most likely just in the early Espresso, I think is what I'm going to do. Let me take care of all that, and I'll be right back. I've adhered down all of my my papers. I did leave this side undone because I'm going to be adding in my journaling, which I did on vellum, and I want to be able to tuck it in underneath. I matted up my photos. I did them in the Night of Navy and then a white border around them. And I only did that on the two 4 by 6s. And everything else I matted on the white cardstock. And these ones, I just did them as almost like film strips. So those two are going to go there. Tuck that in a little tighter. And then for my journaling, like I said, I printed it out on vellum, and I'm going to try to tuck it in. Let me lift this up just a little bit. Here we go. And I'm going to slide this side underneath and just line it up on the bottom. And then on this side, I'm going to tuck it underneath and use the adhesive to hold it in place. So let's laid down, and I just want to try to get it as evenly between the two sides as possible. Lift that up just a little bit. See if I can bring that over just a little bit more. This right side is just barely gonna sit underneath there. So hold that down, and then you don't see any adhesive because unfortunately with vellum you do it. And then I'll have the strip across the top that we can put on, and that will hold everything down. So again, just used the early Espresso two-tone cardstock for this. And I have very sticky adhesive. and this way I can hide the little space I have here as well. I will be trimming off the edges because I do it on the white cardstock. It is just slightly larger. So I'm lining this up with the 3-inch mark on both sides so that it's even. Let's lift that up just a bit and lay that down right there. And that pretty much just lines up with the blue paper above. So let's get this a little pressed down. I need to put a little more adhesive down there just to hold that in place. So a journaling done, which is huge. Let's put these back in place. And then I have my title. I have my whole little embellishment box here. I just punched out or stamped out a little sentiment that says love every moment. I think I'm going to place that one over here on this side. Just line that up with my photos that I have yet to adhere down. And just bringing in, I don't have any Gulf stamps or ephemera or anything like that, so I'm just going to bring in some tags and some sprigs. I did them. This is the light side of Night of Navy. And I'm just going to do real simple journaling or real simple embellishing. I'm going to bring another one up here so I have, you know, the 3 points of interest. Let's try that way. I've got a cute little sentiment I stamped, just says smile. I'm going to place that over here on this side. And a couple of these sprigs up here as well. And I might do 2 here. Put that in there. And something like that. And then my title, I did out of the alphabet a la mode, that really tall one. And then I also used the mini alphabet. So my title is going to be the cutest golfer, I think is what I punched out because I just thought he was adorable. He was such a cutie. So get those pieces here. GOLFERI can spell. Here we go. All right, and those I'm just going to adhere down with some Barely Art glue. And this is also in the Night of Navy, so it all kind of coordinates. Let's flip that guy around. Like him that way. This is a super quick layout. What I like is that you don't have to use your paper what you think it might be intended for. I mean, it's travel paper, and I thought that it just works so well with the colors. So definitely think outside the box and don't always think you're locked into whatever the theme of the paper is. So there we go. So that is going to be my title, my embellishment. Let me just secure everything down. I want to add a little bit of bling, and I will bring it in closer for you to look at. I have everything adhered down, and I'm just finishing up my title. Just wanted to show you real quick how I do it. Oh, blob there. And I just take this little bottle and I refill it with the Barely Art glue, just so it has a little bottle is easier to handle for me than the larger one. I use a pair of reverse tweezers, and that way I can get that centered and get it dropped down, and then just gently press. And there is my title, The Cutest Golfer. I did complete this journaling, or excuse me, this embellishment cluster there. And I'm just going to finish up this one here. I did go and make a little sentiment. Let me show you real quick how I did that. This is a really large or long sentiment, as you can see here. Let me see if you can see that there. And so what I did was I just hung it off the block, because I wanted to stack it and I didn't want to cut it. So I just kind of held it up, stamped that, gently making sure not to catch an edge or anything. And then I did the same. I just moved it over to the other side and basically did the same. That way I was able to stack the sentiment. And that sentiment is out of the Storybook Life, this long one right here. And I forgot to mention, but this Love Every Moment is one, I actually use it a lot. I really like it, called Love Every Moment, from the Everyday You and Me stamp set. So let's get this last cluster put together. Just going to tuck behind my photos. I have to lift up just a little. Got that there. I'm going to bring in 2 more tags, like I have on the other side. Get those adhered down. And I'm going to take that larger sentiment there, and I'm going to stick that in the center of, I'm going to lift that up a little. Let's trim them down. Tuck down there like that, and then I'm going to just bring in a little glue to adhere the sprigs down. They do better than trying to use adhesive on them. That just kind of tears them up. One there, and let me get the other one down. I want to add just a tiny bit of bling onto my tags, just to cover up the holes. And then I would like to ink that up real quick. Let me grab my ink, my little sponge tool here, and I just want to just give a little definition to those edges there. Get that done real quick. I'm going to tuck the one end underneath. Just get all done. A little adhesive, and that will complete this cluster here. Oh, I like that. I like that. That I think looks cute. I wanted to bring in these hues of blue flowers because they coordinate so well with the colors. And I'm thinking I want to use these little, the darker, let's see. We could use different colors, but I like the smaller ones. And I just want to add just those onto my tags just to cover the holes. And we'll do the other 2 over here. And then I think the layout will be complete. Last one right there. So I think I'm going to try to just get a little adhesive underneath that just to hold it down. There we go. Let me bring in my layout for you to look at. Check out my clusters and my title. I just love my little title. Really simple clusters. My flower is not adhering. Let me just add a drop of glue. Sometimes the adhesive does not come up with the with the embellishment. So a little bit bigger one. There we go. There we go. So, and those little flowers just to finish off the holes of the tags. My subtitle here, and my little sentiment strip there. But I am going to create a PDF of this layout. If you're interested in it, shoot me an email. That is down below, and I will list everything that I used in the description below. If you liked my video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, and until next time, bye.